Welcome to NBC News Daily. I'm Morgan Radford.
I'm Vicki Nguyen. We're so glad you're with us.
It is 1 p.m. on the East Coast and 10 a.m. out west as millions of Americans are heading to the polls to decide who will become the next president of the United States. Now, just over the past few hours, we've been seeing long lines at many different polling centers across the country. In fact, here are what some of the voters are telling our reporters.
A little nervous, definitely with social media being a big part of it, but hopefully my vote matters and I'm able to make a difference.
For me, it would be democracy and just making sure that our rights in this country are protected.
Abortion, obviously, I'm not a woman and I can't speak for women, but I feel like it should be their own choice.
I voted for Trump last time. I'm going to do it again. The economy sucks at this point.
I feel like political discussions have kind of permeated all the discussions we've been having. So it's like we're excited to cast our vote, but also I think rightfully nervous, cautiously optimistic about the outcome.
Well, about 30 minutes ago, former President Donald Trump spoke at his campaign headquarters in South Florida. He said he feels very confident after casting his ballot there. So far, we have not seen Vice President Kamala Harris today, but later tonight, she is expected to head to Howard University in Washington, D.C. for her election watch party.
NBC News White House correspondent Mike Memley is live at the Naval Observatory in D.C., where Harris will begin watching those results come in at her residence. Mike, this is interesting because Governor Walz is currently in Pennsylvania. So what is Harris doing to sort of energize voters, keep herself top of their minds on Election Day?
Well, we know Vice President Harris is behind me, behind the double rows of fencing, extra security now here on Election Day. And she's making calls into battleground states across the country. She's already called into a radio show this morning in Atlanta, Georgia, in Raleigh, North Carolina, and two in Battleground, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh, the two biggest markets. This is really an important part of the get out the vote effort for the Harris campaign. She wants to hit some of those voters across the battleground states who may be on their way to work or maybe later today on their way home from work. People who maybe haven't voted yet, maybe weren't sure if they wanted to vote. Give that last second appeal to get them not just to show up, but to vote for her. This is after she held that closing rally in Philadelphia last night. Tens of thousands of people there as she spoke on the Rocky Steps. She said this could be the closest election in U.S. history, but she feels momentum is on her side.
Mike, we heard Trump project confidence and to say that Republicans are showing up in force at the polls. How is the Harris campaign feeling about their turnout in states like Pennsylvania and other critical battlegrounds?
Every campaign, frankly, at this point is giving us their best spin on the early voting data that's coming in, telling us what their internal numbers are showing. What the Harris campaign says as their bottom line is that, listen, they look at the 7 battleground states where they have built massive campaign operations to try to convince voters to vote for Kamala Harris. And they think they still on Election Day have a path to victory in each of those 7 states. Now, you talk about the most likely path. They're talking about it being that blue wall, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. But they also feel good about what they're seeing in North Carolina as well as in Georgia. There's still some hope in Arizona, which had been maybe the toughest of the battleground states. But listen, this is a campaign that 4 years ago, a lot of the same team was helping President Biden in his campaign. The final margins in a lot of these states was closer than what the final polls show. So no one is taking anything for granted, even in these last few hours, guys.
All right, Mike Memley for us there on the ground in D.C. Mike, thank you.
For the latest on the Trump campaign, we're going to go to NBC News correspondent Vaughn Hilliard live in West Palm Beach, Florida. So, Vaughn, tell us a little bit more about what else the former president said today after he cast his ballot. He stayed for quite some time to talk to reporters.
Right, Vicki Morgan. He actually answered a slew of questions, not only suggesting that he is confident about what they have seen, he and his campaign, from the early vote returns in the weeks leading up to today, but also the number of Republican registered voters who have been coming in person in these key battleground states. And him, after casting his own ballot alongside his wife, former First Lady Melania Trump, also, though, talked about what has become a byproduct of Donald Trump being a candidate, and that is when the ballots are being counted, the extent to which one accepts the election results. And I want to let you listen to part of his response to our NBC's Jake Traylor, who asked whether he would be willing to acknowledge that we may not have an election result tonight, and then also the extent to which he has concerns about political violence in the weeks ahead. Take a listen.
If I lose an election, if it's a fair election, I'd be the first one to acknowledge it. Of course, there'll be no violence. My supporters are not violent people. I don't have to tell them that. And I certainly don't want any violence, but I certainly don't have to tell. These are great people.
Of course, 4 years ago on election night, he prematurely from the White House declared that he had won re-election when there were still hundreds of thousands of ballots outstanding in multiple battleground states. And we could expect potentially the same to play out tonight. But he acknowledged that this afternoon that we may not know who the victor is and that this may take a couple of days. Of course, there are voters that are still voting here around the country. And so for Donald Trump and his campaign, they will be holding down at his Mar-a-Lago estate, where friends, family, and close allies are going to be watching these results come in before going across the water to West Palm Beach to potentially deliver remarks to supporters in the gathered press. A big night ahead, guys.
What have you heard, Vaughn? I mean, what is the atmosphere? What is the tone in these final hours? Because I think, as Vicky mentioned, former President Trump has been projecting a lot of confidence. But what have you been hearing from those campaign sources?
Right. 1 week ago, it was a little different than it was in the last 24 hours. Let's be clear. In the aftermath around the Madison Square Garden rally, Donald Trump and his team were feeling very high about the enthusiasm and the number of Republicans who were turning in their early votes. But over the last 9 days, specifically since that Madison Square Garden rally, we have seen a very undisciplined Donald Trump who has not had a focused message. He has used denigrating language to describe Vice President Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Liz Cheney, but also his former generals, John Kelly, James Mattis, Mark Milley, and some Republicans, including one Trump campaign battleground source I've talked to, have said that they are concerned about not only some of those independent voters who were trying to potentially be willing to vote for Donald Trump, but those even reticent conservatives. And when we're talking about a race that could come down to thousands of votes, that sort of language, their concern could potentially have impacts on what could be a very narrow margin victory for one of these candidates here tonight.
Yeah. All right. Our Vaughn Hilliard there on the ground in Florida. Vaughn, thank you.
Let's go ahead and bring in NBC News senior political editor Mark Murray. Mark, you said we could be in for a long night. We might not get any results from the key swing states for a while. So what are some of the states that, you're watching and could give us a lot of insight, at least the earlier the better?
Yeah, let's start with Florida. And again, Florida has been in the Republican column for the last decade or so, but it is a really fast counting state. And so we could end up having the entire vote counted in Florida by 8 or 9 o'clock. And to me, looking back in the 2016 and 2020 cycles, we always ended up seeing the Donald Trump strength, that MAGA base come out, and Florida was always a key sign. And so that was a state that Trump won by more than 3 percentage points. And we're going to be looking at the counties and the results and the margins to see if that strength still shows up in the Sunshine State for him.
Mark, can we talk about suburban women? Because they really were a stronghold for Biden in the last election. What are we seeing, though, this time around?
We're seeing an enormous gender gap, and we are actually seeing Harris doing incredibly well with women, whether urban or suburban women with college degrees. And so this, to me, is going to potentially be one of the defining stories of this election cycle. And when we talk about the suburbs and suburban women, I'm always looking at those Philadelphia suburbs. This is where Joe Biden was able to win Pennsylvania in 2020. We're talking places like Delaware, Montgomery, Chester. And so, to me, that's going to be very, very important. Of course, Donald Trump's trying to counter with better turnout with men, with Latinos, with younger Black voters. And so we're going to see that kind of the mesh of different forces all play out.
Which has been really interesting to see how both of those campaigns have tried to appeal to masculinity, right? With President Obama speaking directly to young men. We saw Magic Johnson speaking directly to young Black men in Detroit and other places, other people like Charlemagne the God. So it's interesting how both campaigns are trying to target that same demographic. Mark Murray, it is always a pleasure to have you live in the studio here at 30 Rock. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Mark. All right, it is time now for our CNBC Money Minute. After almost 2 months on the picket line, Boeing factory workers are headed back to work. 59% of machinists voted to approve the latest labor deal, effectively ending the strike.
CNBC senior markets correspondent Dominic Chu joins us. Dom, we have been following the story for months now. What finally, sealed the deal? What do employees actually get in this new contract?
Sure, Morgan, Vicky. So the contract headline is it delivers a 38% wage hike over 4 years for the 33,000 union members who build most of Boeing's jets. Now, Boeing's new CEO, Kelly Ortberg, said even with the strike over, there's still work ahead to be done to return the company to its standards of excellence. The strike has pressured the company's finances, with the company warning last week it will likely burn cash through the year 2025. Meanwhile, Walgreens agreed to pay about $100 million to settle a proposed class action lawsuit accusing it of overcharging customers for a decade when they bought generic drugs through private insurance companies, Medicare or Medicaid. Plaintiffs accuse the company of wrongly requiring insured customers to pay more than members of its prescription savings club plan. And speaking of influencing elections, Meta Platforms will reportedly extend its ban of political ads after today's election. It was supposed to expire just before midnight, but Axios reports it will stay in place a little bit longer to prevent confusion and misinformation from spreading while votes are still being tallied. Google, by the way, is also blocking election ads until polls close later on tonight, ladies. So very much a contested election. We'll see what happens here in the coming hours. I'm sure you guys will be busy. I'll send things back over to you.
And such an important reminder not to just trust what you see online, to go to different sources when you find information, just to verify that's actually true when it comes to voting.
Trust but verify, always, especially with such an important election being contested right now.
Absolutely. Dom Chu, thank you very much.
Well, our live Election Day coverage continues as we talk to voters in some of the biggest states to watch right when we come back. Don't move. You're watching NBC News Daily. The ballot counting process and the security upgrade specifically there in that county.
Yeah, Morgan, you're totally right. I even heard that from one voter in Erie County, the complete opposite part of the state. People really want to make sure that nothing challenges their election, that they are able to have their ballots counted and heard. And of course, officials throughout the state are preparing for potential challenges to the election results. In Allegheny County, I talked to election officials here. They've made so many improvements. They have spent six figures on cameras, putting them in every single ballot drop box location, putting them at all polling sites, and putting them, of course, in the tabulation center where they count votes tonight when polls close at 8 p.m. I was told, just a fun stat here, the amount of cameras in the warehouse alone exceed by square inch the amount of cameras in the local casino. So they are not taking any chances when it comes to having this election run smoothly. So far, no major problems in this county. They say that everything is running as it's supposed to, and a steady stream of people in this polling site all day long, Morgan.
All right, so safe and secure thus far. Julie Sturken for us there in Allegheny County. Julie, thanks so much.
Let's bring in NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa, who joins us now from a ballot processing center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Speaking of safe and secure, Maggie, we know Vice President Harris trying to keep Michigan blue after Biden flipped it back in 2020. You've been talking with the voters there today. How are they feeling about the candidates? Are they speaking to you about who they're voting for and the issues that brought them out today?
Oh, they are happy to tell us who they're voting for. The vast majority of people had no problem with that. We heard every take across the political spectrum, every ideology you can imagine. The one kind of common thread that we heard was people are pretty stressed out knowing how much of a battleground their state is. 15 electoral votes up for grabs in Michigan. The number one issue here in this state, according to recent polls, the economy and inflation. Here's what two voters voting for two different candidates had to say about why that hits them. We'll start with one who voted for the vice president. What is it about the vice president's message that hits you?
She can relate to low income or medium based families. And right now that's very important because of our kids, our ability to have a roof over our head.
I voted Trump. I'm going to vote pure Republican. Anytime a Democrat's in office, my wallet suffers.
Yeah, so each trusting the other candidate, the candidate they voted for anyway, to handle the economy better. And those sound bites reflect kind of where the polls land right now in Michigan. Multiple polls put Vice President Harris ahead, but by as little, guys, as a 1-point margin. So it is incredibly tight here in Michigan once again.
Yeah, well within the margin of error. Maggie, we know Michigan saw more than 1.2 million people who showed up for early voting. That's, they've already started processing the absentee ballots and mail-in ballots. Is it a fast counting state like Florida?
It's a faster counting state than it was in 2020. I want to show you what's happening behind me. So this is a ballot processing center. You can see election workers here going through the ballots, flattening them out. They're basically verifying them, everything from the ballot number that it was assigned to any given voter, their registration, their signature, things like that. Once those ballots are verified, flattened out, then they'll be walked over here, over to these tabulation centers, 6 machines here ready to get those fed in. This process, this is key, Vicki, started 8 days ago. That's the first time in Michigan's history that clerks were able to start that process early. So it should speed things up.
Great. And hopefully we'll get the results sooner. Maggie Vespa, thank you so much.
Well, millions of Americans are doing their civic duty today, including this woman, 101-year-old Lucy Hunter, who says she was proud to cast her vote in Pennsylvania.
choice. Trump's trying to take that away. I feel like there's a lot of girls out here that get sexually harassed and sexually abused, and Trump doesn't have a choice whether to take a child or don't take a child, and I feel like it's a choice as well. That was honestly my main thing. I have a daughter, so it's like if anything like happens to her one day and she doesn't feel like she can do anything about it, I feel like it should have been her choice. I mean, she should have all the choice in the world to say what they deserve and shit. So that's really what I'm trying to do. They try to say like how she had her turn as in there as vice president, yada yada yada, but the vice president can only do so much. The vice president, they don't make any laws; they can only make suggestions to the president. So I don't know what people blame law on her for certain things. Yeah, that was my thing. And then we watched Trump for years, and it was up and down, He didn't really do anything convention that was like that. Too many people died, a lot of women died. I feel good. I feel good. I feel really good, man. I feel very confident. I feel like she can put us in the right place, right direction. Somebody that took a chance rather than somebody I see that did something I didn't personally like it about.
Okay, sir, excuse me? No, you can't bring it down. You just told me I could.
Really good. So really good. Very happy.
You mind if I got the camera? I need a driver's
You're out here, you need umbrella.
Any one of those people or just the lady in the red? Okay. This is going to be in a book, so honey. You ready? Okay. Whenever you're ready. The stone is ready. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of a people person. What can you say? Are you?
Will be decided by an extremely narrow margin.
Right now, Republicans have the majority in the House, but just barely. And on the Senate side, Democrats are in control, but again, that's a slim majority. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ali Vitale has been following it all for us. So, Ali, let's talk about the Senate side. Which are the key races that we should be watching for?
Ohio and Montana. I think those are the ones that are, in Republicans' eyes, most likely to flip. In my mind, having covered both of them in 2018, these are very specific characters to their very specific states. They have outperformed the top of their ticket before, but it is the first time that both of them are on a presidential ticket in cycle themselves as well. It's going to make it harder, but not impossible. Those are the two that I'm watching closely.
But we've really seen these surprising battleground states emerge in the House races. So what are you looking for there?
California and New York are the absolute keys. There's about 6 races in New York and just a few more in California. The thing with those is they're going to be tight, and especially out in California. We saw back in 2022, some of these races took until December to call. So when we talk about exercising patience for the presidential, exercise it there for the House.
That's the roadmap.
Yeah.
You know, with these races so tight in the House and the Senate, talk about how the presidential race plays a role in ultimately helping us sort of decide that balance of power.
So actually, this could be the story of places like Iowa, if it ultimately ends up flipping, as that one singular poll showed that it could be trending in Kamala Harris's direction. What one Democratic operative had said to me is, if that ends up flipping, they should be thanking the people on the Democratic side who were organizing and putting ads on the air there in the House, because there were always 2 competitive races in Iowa. So it might not have been on the presidential marquee, but it definitely was on the House side. And so that investment, when we talk about everything being linked, that's an example of that, potentially.
Okay.
Ali Vitale. Ali, thank you so much.
Absolutely,
We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ali. Well, this race will be a tight one, as Ali said, not just for the president, but even the races far down the ballot. They're showing some really razor-thin margins.
And with the high volume of mail-in ballots, we may have, as Ali said, to wait days or even weeks before we know those final results. NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett has more on the potential timeline for counting those votes.
The moment the entire country has been waiting for.
The presidential race so tight in 2020, the winner took days to call. The high number of mail-in ballots creating a unique challenge for election officials, and this year may be the same.
It takes time to count millions of votes.
Pennsylvania's top election official Al Schmidt says he expects more than 30% of voters to cast their ballots by mail this time around. But state law prevents election officials from opening and processing those ballots until 7 a.m. on Election Day.
It leads to a perception that things are delayed in Pennsylvania.
A similar law in Wisconsin bars pre-processing of mail-in ballots ahead of time, while in Arizona, verifying signatures on early ballots can cause delays. In Nevada, a different challenge. Ballots get counted up to 4 days after the election, so long as they're postmarked by November 5th, all potentially resulting in a days-long gap between when polls close and when the race is finally called.
We've seen that as a real period of vulnerability for people to try to undermine confidence in the results.
We did win this election.
Former President Trump seized on that period of uncertainty in 2020 to fuel a false narrative the election was stolen, and has been trying to cast doubts on the results of this election.
They cheat. That's the only way we're going to lose, because they cheat.
And already the lawsuits have started flying, nearly 200 and counting. In Georgia, officials had concerns over new rules passed by the pro-Trump state election board. Those rules now blocked by a judge. For now, Republicans have focused their efforts on contesting the rules around mail-in voting in Pennsylvania, losing several lawsuits already, others still pending and left unresolved, providing a fertile ground, election lawyers say, for future fights in the weeks ahead.
The nightmare scenario is
mail-in ballots where the parties contest the signatures, the date, or other defects in the ballot.
Laura Jarrett, NBC News.
I'm Morgan Radford.
I'm Vicki Nguyen. Stay with us. You're watching NBC News Daily, and you can watch us free 24/7 on our streaming network, NBC News Now. Do it wherever you stream, including YouTube, Hulu, Roku, and Peacock, especially with this election, Morgan. You can watch us all the time.
An
anywhere you're
election
going.
that's already turning out to be historic. And remember, we are here on NBC News Now all day, but also special coverage beginning tonight on NBC News. You can watch Savannah Guthrie and Lester Holt, as well as our team of correspondents spread out all across the country, bringing you real news in real time. Stay right here. You're watching Daily.
For afternoon news across all of television.
I'm Morgan Radford.
I'm Vicki Nguyen.
I'm Kate Snow.
And I'm Zinklea Samwat.
What's happening around the world?
Israel's military is building up there along the border.
And what matters here at home?
New numbers are out today showing more encouraging signs for our economy.
Let's zero in on exercise. We know we're supposed to be doing it. What does it do for our health?
What needs to change for social media to be a safer place?
NBC News Daily, weekdays from 12 to 4 on NBC News Now.
Happy Election Day, everyone. I'm Kate Snow.
So good to be with you. I'm Zinklea Samwat. NBC News Daily starts right now.
It is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, Decision Day. Months and even years of campaigning leading up to this moment. Millions of Americans lining up to cast their ballot. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump wrapping up their campaigns, delivering their final messages to voters as they await the decision of the American people.
Eyes on the battlegrounds. We are in key swing states across the country. What the voters there are saying and experiencing as they go to cast their ballots.
Balance of power. We're also looking down the ballot with the control of the House and Senate both up for grabs. The key races plus the states that could decide which party's in charge on Capitol Hill.
And at the polls, from bomb threats to technical difficulties, we are tracking the latest at polling sites across the country amid heightened tensions.
Welcome, everyone. It is finally here.
It's finally here, and we're joining you from a different location today, Studio 1A.
Yeah, Studio 1A. You've seen the Today Show come out of here, but right now it is our studio for NBC News Daily. Again, welcome, and we made it to Election Day 2024.
That's right. Voters have been lined up across the country to cast their ballots in this historic and consequential election. The first polls will close in exactly 5 hours. Former President Donald Trump voted this morning in Florida. He held his final campaign rally overnight in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The former president spoke to reporters after casting his ballot.
They're crazy. If I lose an election, if it's a fair election, I'd be the first one to acknowledge it. And I think so far, I think it's been fair.
Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, also voted this morning in the state of Ohio.
Right now, Vice President Kamala Harris is at her residence in Washington, D.C. She voted by mail over the weekend. Her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, voted early last month. The vice president's final rally ended early this morning in Philadelphia.
Here at these famous steps, a tribute to those who start as the underdog and climb to victory.
Important to note that we may not know the winner of the presidential race tonight. Election officials nationwide are urging patience as all of the votes are counted. We begin our coverage this hour by talking about the candidates out there. NBC News correspondent Dasha Burns is in West Palm Beach, Florida, covering the Trump campaign. And NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba is outside the White House. She's been covering the Harris campaign. Dasha, I'll start with you. Former President Trump holding a watch party later tonight, not far from where you are. What is he doing between now and then? And how is the Trump campaign feeling going into tonight?
Well, look, Kate, it was a long night for the former president, his staff, and our great reporters covering him. He landed here at 6 a.m. this morning, and you just saw him there voting here in Palm Beach with his wife, Melania. He's now back at Mar-a-Lago. He'll be spending much of the day there watching those returns come in. At some point, he's going to make his way over to the Palm Beach Convention Center where the formal watch party is happening. We did get some reporting just moments ago that Elon Musk, the tech mogul and now Trump surrogate, will be watching the returns come in with the former president. He'll be spending at least part of his evening at Mar-a-Lago with Mr. Trump. And look, the former president held his last rally, get this, guys, of his near decade of being a candidate. When you take a step back and you think about that, pretty remarkable. He himself has been pretty nostalgic and wistful, going off teleprompter a whole lot over the last 24 hours in his final Battleground blitz, talking about the closing messages that his campaign wants him to talk about, which is the economy and immigration, but also veering off into some attacks on his rivals, calling Democrats evil, using some profanity over Nancy Pelosi, and painting a dark picture of a nation that is broken and saying that only he can fix it, guys.
Monica, let's bring you in here. Vice President Harris will be holding her watch party tonight at Howard University. Dasha mentioned nostalgia. That's her alma mater. What else should we know about her election day plans? And what's the campaign saying about expectations for this evening?
That's right, Zinkley. Certainly a very sentimental choice for the vice president. And that's why she wanted to be there tonight for her election evening event. It's unclear at what time we may see her, depending, of course, on the rolling results. And the Harris campaign has been very clear in the last couple of days to say that this could take a while. And they have really set out a timeline for how this may happen. But overall, and the message you saw all day yesterday as the vice president was barnstorming Pennsylvania with 5 stops, is this idea that this team believes, at least in this moment, that the momentum is on their side. So the vice president and the second gentleman got back to Washington late last night. She is at the Naval Observatory, her residence, where she has been doing a series of radio calls into battleground states, encouraging voters who maybe haven't made that plan but still have time to get out to the polls to do so, and really talking and framing this race as they have tried strategically to do in the last little bit, which is to present a more joyful, more optimistic, and more confident post and message here. And that has really been what they've tried to do and what the vice president will likely do. She's going to be watching returns with her family tonight from her D.C. residence. Again, before heading to Howard, they expect at some point, depending on how all of this advances this evening. Kate and Zinkley.
Depending on how everything goes, right? Dasha Burns, Monica Alba. Thanks to you both.
Well, out of the 7 battleground states, Pennsylvania has the most electoral votes on the map, 19 to be exact, and it could be the deciding state in this election.
Voters are lining up across the state from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, the smaller communities in between, to cast their ballots today. In the final days of the race, both former President Trump and Vice President Harris spent a lot of time campaigning in the Commonwealth.
Joining us now, NBC News political and national correspondent Jacob Soboroff, who is in Philadelphia. Jacob, what are you hearing from the voters out there?
Hey, Zinkley. Hey, Kate. So this is one of 1,703 different election divisions in the city of Philadelphia. You know the Harris campaign wants to drive up turnout here. They're going to be happy with what they're seeing. This is one of the main polling places next to Temple University. How long you guys been in line for so far?
Like an hour and a half.
Wow, good for you. Are you excited?
Yes, very.
First time voting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first time voting. They've been in line for an hour and a half. I want to show you how long the line is here. So I said 1,703 different election divisions. There's about 700 different polling places all throughout the great city of Philadelphia. Philadelphia City and Philadelphia County are the same election jurisdiction, and certainly the largest one in the state of Pennsylvania. 19 different electoral votes are on the line. This is not even the beginning of the line. How you guys feeling? Everybody doing okay? Everybody doing okay? About an hour so far. You know that the Harris campaign, I was there last night. Vice President Harris was here in Philadelphia last night. She was here to make her case to voters in this city, just like, by the way, Hillary Clinton was on election eve 2016. She had her rally by Independence Hall. On the Rocky Steps is where we were last night. This line just keeps going and going and going. How's everybody feeling? You guys doing okay? All right, so as I said, the name of the game here for both campaigns, and you know that there's a big voter turnout effort that's happening right here. The name of the game is driving up turnout in these urban areas, especially here around Temple University. You know the Trump campaign as well is focusing on those rural areas, in the middle of the state. I got to get to the end of the line before we're done here, guys, but I'm not sure we're going to do it because it literally stretches all the way to the end of the block, Cecil B. Moore Avenue. If I can get to the end of the line, I want to see how people are feeling about an hour and a half wait coming up ahead of them. Guys, anybody first time voting? First time voting? How you feeling?
I'm good.
It might be an hour and a half before you get in there. You're going to be all right?
Yeah.
She's all right. Guys, I didn't make it all the way to the end. I'm going to keep walking backwards when I throw it back to you because I want to say hello to the people at the end. But guys, this is the turnout I think any campaign wants to see. Back to you both.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Truly.
The turnout there. Jacob, thank you so much.
Thank you. Another major battleground state is Michigan, a frequent stop for both candidates this election season.
Both Vice President Harris and former President Trump have each held more than a dozen events in the state. Michigan is part of what people are calling the blue wall, right? Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Winning those states would be Harris's clearest path to victory. Former President Trump, though, has also focused on those states, holding his final campaign rally last night in Grand Rapids, Michigan. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa joins us now from Grand Rapids. Maggie, this is the first national election where people in Michigan have been able to vote early. They didn't have it before and in person. So what are you seeing and hearing today? Are a lot of people showing up to vote on the day of?
A lot of people voted on the day of, but more than 1 million people, if we can look at this graphic right now, 1.2 million took advantage of that first time opportunity to vote early and in person. So both campaigns lauding that as a victory. When you add in the absentee and mail-in ballots, we have total more than 3.3 million people in Michigan, voters in Michigan, already casting their ballots before the sun even came up today, guys. That's a 45% turnout before Election Day. If we can come back out here live, this is where the absentee and mail-in ballots are counted. We have election workers here opening the envelopes, and they compare in particular the number on the ballot to the number that was assigned to each voter to make sure people turned in their proper ballots. Then they put them in tabulator machines to my right. We're not going to show you those because we've got some sensitive info that just came up on the screens there. Obviously, looking at Michigan as a whole, we have the auto industry here. The economy is a big issue. We're hearing from people. In fact, a couple of people that we talked about voting for Vice President Harris or former President Trump tied to that same issue, inflation and the economy. Let's hear that sound now.
She can relate to low income or medium based families. And right now, that's very important because of our kids, our ability to have a roof over our head, food, everything is so expensive right now.
I voted Trump. I'm going to vote pure Republican. Anytime a Democrat's in office, my wallet suffers. Usually I see my 401s earns less, my pay decreases and doesn't increase. Like right now, we got Democrat, automotive is down. So I know Michigan's hurting right now.
Yeah, so obviously razor tight here in Michigan, guys. Polls show the vice president with as little as a 1-point lead, so well within the margin of error. That being said, with all this early voting, you won't have to wait long. The Secretary of State theorizing that we could have final results from Michigan as early as midday tomorrow. Guys.
All right, Maggie Vespa with the latest. Thank you.
And be sure to join us tonight for complete Decision 2024 coverage. It starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming on NBC News Now, and then it picks up on your local NBC station at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be anchoring overnight as well, starting at 2 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, technically, which is 11 Pacific.
All right, I think it's time now for today's CNBC Money Minute. Social media platform X is adjusting its privacy settings.
And younger home buyers are being priced out of the market. Seema Modi joins us now. Hi, Seema.
Hi, Kate and Clay. If you block someone on X, formerly known as Twitter, that person will now be able to not only see that you blocked them, but also view your public posts. However, they won't be able to reply to the posts or repost them. In other news, Netflix is removing nearly all of its interactive shows and films as of next month. The streaming giant confirming the move to The Verge, except for Black Mirror, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and 2 Bear Grylls titles. A spokesperson says the technology served its purpose, but is now limiting. And yes, the number of first-time home buyers shrank to a historic low this year. The National Association of Realtors issued its annual State of the Market report this week. It found the median age of people buying their first home rose from 35 to 38, while the share of these home buyers dropped from 32 to 24%. Analysts say it's largely due to home ownership costs, with the median home price now at $435,000, guys.
All right, Seema Modi for us. Seema, thanks so much.
Thanks.
And coming up, security at the polls, the political threats law enforcement are watching today. That's coming up next on NBC News Daily.
Good morning begins with hope and optimism, a chance to start fresh. We want to welcome you in to share a moment that brightens your day, because every day deserves the best start.
Do you pledge not to hold a vote on any legislation that would ban abortion? Do you still have faith and confidence in the Supreme Court? Is this plan to ban price gouging anything more than a gimmick? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Welcome back. There is a big focus on security at the polls this election day as federal and local law enforcement officials prepare for the possibility of political violence.
In Washington, D.C., the U.S. Capitol Police said that they arrested a man who was stopped during a screening at the Capitol Visitor Center. They said he smelled like fuel and had a torch and flare gun. Joining us now, NBC News law enforcement and intelligence correspondent Tom Winter. So, Tom, tell us the latest on that and other potential threats that officials are tracking today.
Right, Sinclair. So the Capitol Police are out with a statement saying they arrested a man just a short time ago at the Capitol Visitor Center. This is where you would go if you wanted to go on a tour or have to visit somebody at Congress. They said the man smelled like fuel, had a torch, and a flare gun. Now, they've closed the CVC for tours for the day, and they're going to continue this investigation. We're working on a name and an identification and why this individual was there and why this person had those things on them. So that's an active and ongoing investigation and a statement. And we just received some information from the FBI as well that there were a number of bomb threats that were phoned into polling places in Georgia. They say that those bomb threats came from email addresses or from locations associated with a Russian domain name. So that's where it's coming from. Of course, important to note that just because it has a Russian domain name, sometimes that can be spoofed or somebody can use that fictitiously. So perhaps it's coming from somewhere else. But these are all active threats and things that we're looking at across the country at the moment.
All right, Tom Winter checking all that for us. Tom, thank you.
Sure thing.
While we're talking about a national election today, the reality is all politics is local. What happens at individual polling places could affect how long it takes to get the results tonight and in the coming days.
Since it took days for Pennsylvania to count the votes back in 2020, there's been a lot of focus on the Keystone State, and already we are seeing some issues this time around in Cambria County. It's about an hour and a half east of Pittsburgh. Voters there early this morning were told the machines that scan ballots were not working, and people were told to leave their ballots to be scanned later. Voting has now been extended in Cambria County until 10 p.m. Eastern time. NBC News senior reporter Jane Tim is part of our Vote Watch team. She joins us now. So Jane, it's a busy day for you. Talk about what we know about Cambria County, but other issues we might be seeing at places beyond Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Cambria County had a software malfunction that led to those machines not working as intended. When you have a 1 day or a couple of week operation every 4 years or every 2 years, these type of problems do occur where something goes wrong and you have something like this. But overall, we've had a really smooth day. We're seeing long lines due to high turnout and people voting in great numbers. But we mostly are seeing a pretty smooth election. Pennsylvania definitely has a few issues. Erie County is still waiting on more than 7,500 ballots after a third-party vendor was slow to mail those ballots out, but those voters can vote provisionally. And as you said, Cambria County, they can vote till 10 p.m., though they will be casting provisional ballots after 8 p.m. Overall, I'd say you have a pretty smooth election. Knock on wood. We'll be watching to see if anything more comes out.
We're definitely knocking on the wood, the glass, anything we can find. Jane Tim, thank you.
Coming up, Texas is a typically red state, but is it possible this could be the year voters elect a Democrat to the Senate? Senator Ted Cruz in an unexpectedly close race, and what happens there could influence control of the Senate. You're watching NBC News Daily.
And stay with us. You can keep watching us streaming free 24/7 on our streaming network, NBC News Now. You can watch us wherever you stream live. That includes YouTube, Roku, NBCnews.com. Don't go anywhere. Our extensive election coverage continues right after this.
I don't really think that it's affect much to me. So
I know that, but who would you like to see win?
because honestly, I don't like either of them.
Okay. Well, that's a fair answer then. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's agents. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Your producer.
Yes, I got it. I got it.
Let's try to get closer so we get a good view.
We're getting close to the camera. They want to make sure. Hi, guys. How are you? Where are you from?
DC.
You're from DC? Do you mind if we were live streaming? Can I ask you?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Nice to meet you.
There you go.
Yeah. I wonder if this is anybody I know over here. Look, guys, look where we are. There we are. Hey, how are you? What's going on? Hey, just the other day we were here and there were no barricades here. We could walk all the way up to the Capitol. And look, you can't really do it now. You can't look at the gun. Long guns. Hi, officers. How are you? Nice to meet you. Thank you for what you do. Are you guys ready? Good. We're counting on you. How are you feeling? Confident, strong? Yeah? Isn't it a gorgeous day? Thank you. How are you?
Let me pose you up right here.
Good. I'm great. Good to see you.
Let me pose you up right here just for a quick shot. We're going to get a quick question.
Can you guys hold this? You won't get this, right? Can you hold that?
All right.
Oh, look. The same color microphone and everything.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to get you streamed up. One.
Hold on.
We're going to give a good 1, 2.
Ah. This is what we do. Okay.
One more time, just one quick.
Oh my gosh. Don't we have stuff to do?
Yes, we do.
All right, here we go. It says, do not cross. All right, got it. Let's go. What would you guys do if I came over there? Thank you, guys. Nice to meet you. Let's go see where these guys are from. Hey, where are you guys from?
London.
London. Do you mind if we talk to you? We're live streaming.
Where to?
Right here. We're live streaming on YouTube. So are you guys following the election here?
No.
You know you're here at a critical time, though.
We didn't realize we were going to be here.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Seriously.
How is that possible?
We booked it and turned out that's what it was.
And so now you're here with all the mess. You can't even get close to some of the things.
Well, we booked to go on a Capitol tour, but they've cancelled it.
Oh, no. So that's not happening.
Thursday now.
Did you get any money back?
No, it's free.
Oh, it's free.
Well, is it a big incident? You're not heard
An
about
incident.
You can't pay anybody off?
No,
Have
no
you
one
not heard what happened?
What happened?
The guy went in and
smelled of fuel and he
Yeah, it
had
was
a flare
covered.
gun on him.
What, here?
Yeah.
Are you serious? I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
Oh, is that why this closed?
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
Oh, did you guys know that? Can you check, producers, check what's going on? They closed it because were you able to get closer?
No, you can't get in.
Tell us what happened. What'd you hear?
Well, we were booked for 2:00 and we came around the corner and they said, no, we're not letting anybody in.
Oh, here it is. So see, I didn't know. This is from Capitol Police. Our officers are just arrested a man who was stopped during our screening process at Capitol Visitor Center, CVC. The man smelled like fuel, had a touch of a flare gun. The CVC is closed for tours for the day. While we investigate, we will provide more information when. Wow, you guys got all the information. Thank you, producers. Where were you on this? I've got like 8 people here.
I know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and nobody knew it.
Yeah, you too.
I know. So who do you think's gonna win?
No idea.
What did you say?
No idea.
Who do you think's gonna win?
it's very close, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. I'm torn because I think both of them have got good things to say.
Not who you want to win, but who you think's going to win.
I don't know.
I think Trump might win.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
But
who do you think is going to win?
I think it will be Trump, but I don't.
Who would you like to win?
I don't know. It's a bit like in the UK. It's you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Well, I mean, you guys have Boris Johnson.
No, not anymore.
No, not anymore. He's gone. But you had him.
We had Boris Johnson. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who would you like to win?
I think what for
usually when people do that, it usually means Trump. It's okay. You can say it.
it's for safety why we're here. I prefer.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. I won't keep pressuring you. It's a pleasure meeting you guys. Sorry about the tour.
What's your YouTube?
It's the Don Lemon Show. Go to YouTube, the Don Lemon Show.
Thank you.
See you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hey, guys, where are you from? Run with who? Oh, hey, how are you? Where are you from?
York, England.
York, England.
Yeah, how you doing?
But you don't vote here.
I don't.
Who do you think's going to win?
I don't want to say. I don't want to jinx it.
Who's Bartlett?
The West Wing.
Is that from the West Wing?
It's the West Wing. It's got mixed reactions to it.
President Bartlett. I thought it was, but I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. So did you like President Bartlett?
I did.
You don't believe government is like the West Wing, do you?
I don't know. I'd like to hope so.
Who do you think's going to win?
No idea.
Who would you like to win?
Harris.
First day in America, right?
First day in America.
This is not your first day in
It's
America.
my first day in America.
Are you kidding me? Why are you here then?
Just heard there was something going on.
Oh, seriously, why are you here?
Yeah.
For the election?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
York, in England.
You said York.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, good luck. Did you try to vote?
no, but I can if you want. Let's just try and influence it.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's see who we would like to talk to. I think we should go across the street to the Supreme Court. But look at all the officers down there. Did you guys see all this? And you got the media set up here. Do you see those guys down there? Apparently, again, there was an incident at the Capitol just moments ago. They saw a man who smelled of fuel, and they closed They closed everything. I don't know if these barricades, if they were letting people closer before this incident. Let me ask. Stand by. I know, right? No. How are you? Were these barricades up here before the incident? Officer? Were these barricades up before the whole man with the gas thing?
Yeah.
They were. So people weren't allowed in before then?
Yeah, we might have been.
Yeah, they were. Okay, thank you. So they were erected here. Wow. So it's so weird because we were going to get close and then they had this incident. Did you hear about this incident? About the man with the gas? Yeah. My producers did not tell me.
I did try to tell you.
You did? Yeah, did you?
I did. I said John.
Yeah, right.
Where do you want to go to next? You want to stay here? Or do we want to keep moving?
No, I think we want to keep moving. I want to walk over to
Let's walk this way.
by the Supreme Court, and then we're gonna go away. Yeah.
Here, there's a biker right here.
Yeah. You want me to run after him? Ooh, sweat. Sweaty. All right, come on, let's go. That is a giant selfie stick right there.
Yes, it is.
Where are you guys from?
South Korea.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't want to talk to them. Where are you guys from? They're from nowhere.
And how do you feel about it?
I think this woman witnessed it. So she's doing an interview. She's doing an interview with the media. And so she witnessed it. I don't know. Were you here when the incident happened? No? Okay. So I'm waiting for the light to change so that we can walk across. So she was on the tour. Should we wait and talk to her? Maybe we should.
The sun is this way. Let's try to always keep going over here.
Got it.
So, Dawn, if you could just
Hey. Wow, thank you. Hey, how are you? Were you doing a tour?
I did a tour.
We're live right now. So what happened? You were in there when this?
Yeah, but from what I understood, I thought that this incident occurred before me entering. So I was.
Turn this way.
Which way?
There we go.
You want the sun?
Yeah.
From what I understood.
Tell me what happened.
No, from what I understood, there was an individual causing a commotion outside, but he was detained, and that was what I knew of it.
But were you going on a tour? I thought you were.
I was on a tour.
While it happened?
I don't know, because I don't know when it happened. Do you know what time it started?
Yeah, but no, I don't know exactly what time it started. But the officer said that these barricades were not up here before it happened.
I entered through a different side.
Yeah. And so what was it like in there today?
It was actually quite calm.
Yeah.
There was nobody there. It was pretty quiet.
And you didn't know anything about it till you came out?
No, I was blissfully ignorant.
So you didn't smell any gasoline?
I
or
did
fuel.
not. My senses are affected by COVID. I smell nothing.
So who do you think is going to win?
Ooh, that's going to be, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you vote here?
Virginia.
You vote in Virginia?
Virginia, yeah.
Who do you want to win?
I can't say. It's a hatch act. Come on. I'm a federal employee.
All right. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Good luck. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go across the street as I check my phone. All right. Let's go. Let's go across the street.
Oh, yeah.
Crossing the street. Hey guys, where are you from? Nowhere? They're not from nowhere. See how tough it is? Hi, how are you? Can we talk to you? All right. See? We need a bicycle so that we can sort of zoom by. Where's our ride?
You want to pull up?
I think we're done after this. Oh, look, these are the Stop Project 2025 people who are out in front of the Supreme Court here. Have you guys ever been to the Capitol? It's actually quite beautiful. You should. Did you show the whole building? You got it? So check this out. Hey, let me know what you want to ask people. Let me know what you're thinking about all of this. Hi, guys. Are you out here all the time?
I come out here for an hour every month.
We're streaming live. Can we talk to you?
Sure. Who are you?
My name is Don Lemon. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So, voting prevents unwanted presidencies.
Usually I have a sign that says justices should not have sugar daddies, but today is special.
So why do you come out?
Usually I come out to protest the court corruption at the court. You know how it came out that Justice Thomas has taken over $4 million worth of trips and gifts paid for by billionaires. And Justice Alito took a really fancy fishing trip paid for by a billionaire who had cases before the court. And then he didn't recuse himself and he decided in favor of that billionaire. So that's usually what I protest because, this is one of our key institutions and they should be beyond reproach, right? We shouldn't think that billionaires are co-opting our system.
But they are.
But they are.
Yeah.
But today is a special day. So today I have a, vote sign.
Well, I take it from your hat that you want Trump to win.
Right. It's my secret disguise.
Yeah. Why Harris Walz?
Why Harris Walz? Well, for one, she's an excellent candidate. I mean, the way she has handled this campaign has been so impressive. In just 3 months, like the amount of energy, I was telling a French reporter came and asked me, the amount of energy behind her campaign, the amount of women, the work that they're doing, and the way it's all been coordinated has just been impressive as hell. I mean, there are women out canvassing, phone banking, writing postcards. It's amazing. I think abortion is a huge reason that we're all out here, but also we believe in her.
Are you optimistic about the results tonight?
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Who do you think's going to win?
I mean, I think it's her, but we all have PTSD from 2016, right? So we're all just cautiously, my friend said, we're nauseously optimistic. That's kind of how it is. Like we're very, very nervous, but I'm causiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic. And obviously I know who you want to win.
Right.
Thank you. What's your name?
I'm Robin.
Robin, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice
Good luck with you. It's good to have that umbrella. How are you?
Okay, I'm not nearly as good as she is.
You don't want to be on?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
What's your name?
Lori.
Lori, pleasure meeting you. Thank you very much. I don't know if the police officer can talk to us. They usually cannot talk unless they're, hey, how are you, ma'am? Where are you from?
I'm from Georgia.
You are? Can we talk to you or live streaming? It's easy.
Sure.
What are you doing here?
I'm just walking around sightseeing. I just moved here.
Did you vote yet?
I did.
You did? Where? Here or in Georgia?
Here.
You did?
A DC resident.
You voted early when?
Friday.
You did?
I did.
And who do you want to win?
Kamala.
Why?
When someone threatens the culture and peace of our country, I mean, you just can't vote for someone like that, Someone that talks negatively about the people he's supposed to protect. So that's why I voted for Kamala.
Do you think that we'll be over this chaos after tonight?
No. No.
So you think Trump's going to win? Is that what you're saying?
I think whoever wins is going to be some turmoil. I don't think if either side wins, it's going to, create peace.
Who do you think's going to win?
Oh, I have no idea.
You don't want to even say.
I think it's going to be close. I mean, I hope Kamala wins, but I don't know if she's going to win.
Yeah. Do you have a gut feeling or anything?
No.
No.
I think it's up in the air.
Say hi to the YouTubers.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But we can work through whatever happens. Whoever wins, I think we can work through it.
Yeah. Do you miss Georgia?
I do.
Where in Georgia?
The weather is so nice here right now.
Isn't it great? We were just saying how beautiful it's like perfect. It's a perfect day.
I'm from Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, I used to live in Atlanta.
Really?
I lived in Virginia Highland. Where did you live?
Really? Right? College, closer to the airport.
You did? Was College Park?
Park,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, good to see
Nice
you.
to meet you.
NCAA division, women's, were you basketball?
Yes, I played volleyball in college.
Volleyball for?
the University of New Haven.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, officer. Thank you for protecting us. Nice to meet you.
We can go up on.
Yeah, we can go up.
Do you want to just go just quickly? Or?
But you said you did not have enough time.
No, let's do it. We got 2 minutes. We're waiting for
Interviews up on the plaza.
Can we shoot, but we can't interview people? We can't bring cameras. Okay. So we can't. According to the officer, we're going to do what the officers will say.
I mean, they're doing time.
What the officers say. Hey, guys, where are you from?
Here.
Do you want a picture?
Yeah, wait. Yes, honestly. Yes, honestly.
All right. But that means you got to talk to us for our live stream. Are you ready? Now, can I get a portrait? I'm going to get a portrait a little bit closer.
Oh, portrait.
Are you guys ready? Well, that's going to be great. Okay, so can we talk to you on our live stream? How old are you guys, by the way?
1 minute, because we have to go back to work.
Oh, how old are you guys? Are you older than 18?
Yes.
That's what I want to know, 26. So how are you guys feeling about tonight? About today?
Feeling good. Great. Feeling good.
Nervous?
Not really. No. We'll see what happens.
No? Who do you think's going to win?
It's a toss up. It literally is such a toss up.
Either way.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, serious.
Everyone's like, oh, I got a feeling today, blah, blah, blah. This person's going to win. That person's
It's so
going to win.
hard to say. I was just in Texas, and I feel like everyone there was like, "Oh, Trump's gonna win," and then you talk to anybody here, and they're like, "Kamala's gonna win." So I think it's just like where you are. It's kind of skewed.
It's all an echo chamber, no matter where you are.
A bubble.
Some might say.
Some might say.
Some might say.
What do you mean by that? You got something
Echo chamber.
brewing. An echo chamber?
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Texas. Yeah.
Texas. You're from a state that traditionally is red, but maybe it's going to swing. But it
never
doesn't.
know.
It never does. It never does, right? So
Yes,
you guys want to win.
Literally, we're about to go ponder that.
You voted though, right?
We're on our way.
You're going to vote now.
Right now.
Thank you. Look at the pictures. Make sure they're okay. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye. Where's our car? Where's our car?
Dude, where's my car?
Where's my car, bro? Look how beautiful this is. Check this out. Come here. Look at this. Look at this. Do it. Look, check it. Do a 360.
Yo, I love this dog over here.
Let's do this. Look at that. Hi, sir. How are you? Where are you from?
Argentina.
Argentina. Nice to meet you. Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Australia.
Oh, are you? Okay, good. But look how beautiful this is. And I think people, it's almost like it's a holiday, but it's not. It's a Tuesday.
Here's our vans coming up.
Okay, so anyways, we are still live here. I have so many people with me. Let's see if this woman with the American flag wants to talk. Let's see. How are you?
Took advantage of it. Kate Sinclair.
Allison Barber for us in Georgia. Allison, thanks so much.
All right, and as we're jumping around the map, let's check in on Nebraska, where a few factors make it a unique state to watch tonight.
All right, here's the thing. In almost every state, all of the state's electoral votes are given to the winner of the state. Winner takes all, right? But in Nebraska and Maine, they split up their electoral votes. So Trump could win some and Harris could win some. In Nebraska tonight, all eyes are on the 2nd Congressional District around Omaha. That's because the Harris campaign is hoping to win there and get one lone electoral vote out of it. Nebraska is also one of the states where abortion rights are on the ballot. NBC News correspondent Ann Thompson is in Gretna, Nebraska. That's a suburb of Omaha. And former President Trump won the whole state in 2016, but President Biden picked up one electoral vote in 2020. What are you seeing and hearing today?
Well, first of all, we are expecting a big turnout, Kate. Local officials think that 73% of the electorate will turn out to vote here in Douglas County, which is the heart of that blue dot that makes up Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District. Already 45% of people have voted early, so that's why you see behind me. It's a little slow. It's been very steady here all day, but I can tell you that people are not only animated by the names on this part of the ballot, they're also very animated about 2 ballot initiatives that they have to vote on, and they both involve abortion. The first one, 434, would amend the state constitution to ban abortions in Nebraska after 12 weeks with exceptions. The second one, 439, would permit abortions up to fetal viability. And I can tell you that almost every voter we've spoken here to today, they are very concerned about a woman's right to choose. Sinclair?
And Anne, I know voters there are also watching closely this competitive Senate race in which there is no Democrat, right?
That's right. It's a Republican versus an independent. Incumbent Senator Deb Fischer versus Dan Osborne. And there are two big issues there. First of all, is that the fact that Deb Fischer is running for a third term, because that's something she promised not to do. And the second issue is abortion. She opposes abortion rights. He supports abortion rights, but he's also aligned himself with Trump on the border and China. Zincle?
Ann Thompson. Ann, thanks so much. We'll check in later.
Absolutely. And coming up, with their campaigns coming to a close, did Harris and Trump get their messages across to voters? The big takeaways from this election cycle next, coming up on NBC News Daily.
Closer to the Gaza border. A story of resilience and hope. Please take care of yourself and each other.
Do you pledge not to hold a vote on any legislation that would ban abortion? Do you still have faith and confidence in the Supreme Court? Is this plan to ban price gouging anything more than a gimmick? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Nice to have you along with us, whether you're at home or on our plaza. We're just glad you're with us this morning.
Well, Election Day is finally here, and it's been a long race for the White House with a lot of twists and turns.
Fortunately, we have some political insiders here to talk about how both the Trump and Harris campaigns have closed out the final days. Here with us on set, NBC News political analyst Maria Teresa Kumar, the president and CEO of Voto Latino, an organization that endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris, and Mark Short, a Meet the Press political analyst and former chief of staff to Vice President Mike Pence. Thank you both so much for being here. So, Maria, I do want to start with you. It really seems like this race is going to come down to gender. We even heard Harris on a hot mic moment talk about wanting to mobilize men. So I want to ask you about women. Do we think Democrats have done enough to really get this voting bloc out?
I can share with you that the moment that Harris went on top of the ticket, the volume of folks that we saw starting to register at Voto Latino went through the roof. And we've registered close to 250,000 folks. And of those, 70% of them are women and women under the age of 29. So it is something that we're seeing. It's a phenomenon that we haven't seen before. But I do think that at the end, one of her last rallies, she made the closing case that she's going to be the president for everyone. And so she's giving permission structures for men saying, wait a second, I need to make sure that I'm voting, not just for myself, but for my daughters. And I believe that we're going to see a very similar phenomena that we saw in 2022 during the midterm elections, when they said that there was going to be a massive red wave. And in fact, what we saw was a lot of independent, moderate white men saying, no, I'm voting for the rights of my family.
Mark, let me ask about men, because obviously former President Trump has really been targeting, especially young men with a lot of the podcasts that he did. He got advice from his son Barron on who to talk to. Do you think it's worked? Do you think President Trump will galvanize the male vote?
I think he will. I do think that there are a lot of disaffected male voters out there and some that are less prone to vote. But I don't know the strategy has to be an either or. Like, I think a better strategy is both. And I sort of feel like that it appears that where the Trump campaign is suffering is in suburban America. And you know, there are more women voters than there are male voters. And so I think a strategy that targets unlikely male voters at the risk of potentially losing reliable women voters is perhaps one that's the math doesn't add up as well.
That's really interesting. And I mean, as we talk about gender, we can't not talk about race. Maria, of course, you're president and CEO of Voto Latino. Latinos historically have supported Democrats through and through, but it looks like the tide may be shifting. So I wonder if you can put on a critical lens for your party. Where are Democrats falling short when it comes to the Latino vote, the Hispanic vote?
So one of the things that we saw is that the polls are not actually reflecting on how people are seeing in early voting. I can share with you in Pennsylvania, they just came out with a poll, The Hill came out with a poll and basically found that 64% of Latino voters in Pennsylvania intend to vote for Kamala Harris. That wasn't the case before the Madison Square Garden hit, to be honest. And I do think that if we're going to talk about later on what was the October surprise, I think that was the October surprise.
The comedian who made the joke about Puerto Rico.
Who made the joke about Puerto Rico, and that there was no rebuttal right away. And I think that that really galvanized the community in a way of saying, wait a second, you are talking about a whole people. You're talking about Latinos, Puerto Ricans, and people are heeding that call. I was door knocking all this weekend. I can tell you that in Pennsylvania, I can tell you that the anger and frustration and sadness coming from people saying, how can he call us that? And now I think that we're going to see it with political repercussions.
Mark, at the same time, the economy, immigration, those are the issues that seem to be driving people toward former President Trump. I've heard you say that he in this environment should have a landslide. And if he doesn't, it says something about your Republican Party.
I think it is an indictment on the party right now. I mean, the reality is it's also 70% of America feels we're on the wrong track. I think that sets up for what should be a significant Republican victory. But it seems that there hasn't been as much focus on border issues, on the economy. The last closing messages, the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of distraction on fluoride in your water or getting rid of vaccinations, or even the Madison Square Garden rally that I think got off message. And so I think if there'd been a better prosecution of what the Biden-Harris administration has done, that Republicans would be in a better position today.
Do you still expect he will win tonight?
I think that that he has an enormously supportive base of support, but he also has a low ceiling. And so as you see a higher and higher turnout, that does not, I think, bode well for his campaign.
And of course, Kate mentioned who will win that 270 map. I wonder, is there one state from both of you that you're watching tonight?
For me, it's Pennsylvania. And I think that it was the one that was one of the most difficult ones in 2020, 2016. And we are seeing a shift of the Latino voter that was kind of on the fence, getting mobilized in very different energy.
I'd say in addition to Pennsylvania, I would say Michigan and North Carolina. I think those are two states to watch because North Carolina's had significant demographic shifts recently.
All right. Maria Teresa Kumar and Mark Short, thank you both.
Appreciate you guys. There is much more election coverage coming up.
So don't go anywhere. You're watching NBC News Daily.
Who do you want to win?
Kamala.
You do,
Yeah.
but you don't like any of the candidates, but you want her to win.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a female president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you like the candidates?
I guess both of them don't represent the values that I identify with, but two-party system isn't the best. But
Does it have to do anything with war?
yeah, I mean, obviously there's a whole conflict going on, a genocide. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad you spoke to us, and don't be nervous.
Sorry.
Thank you. What's your name? Do you mind saying?
It's Shirani.
Shirani?
Yeah.
Pleasure meeting you.
Thanks for meeting
Good
me.
luck. Okay, guys, thank you. All these beeps are people who are either subscribing. Are you with this guy? Yeah. Hi, how are you? Can we talk to you? We're live streaming. Okay, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Job. Excited for Kamala and Waltz.
Oh, thank
you. Hibiscus.
Oh my gosh, let me see who all of these people are. Let's see. Okay, that was Kimberly Johnson said, much respect. Daniel LaVille, thank you. Love you, Don. Be safe, Kamala 2024, says Heather. Ms. Lady says, great boots on the ground. Don, America will get this right. Go Harris Walls. Media Mayhem says, this is so much better than Talk Tua. KJ3 says, love you. We're not going back. T Boomer says, this is interesting. I love it, Don. Go Blue. Jay West says, Don, just tuned in.
2024 is fire. The essence of fire. There is no greater change agent than a woman's wild will. Arizona, go blue.
Says Don, just tuned in. This is definitely more entertaining than any
Harris
mainstream media.
2024.
Praying
I can't
Harris
wait
Walls
for her
wins.
to win.
Beth Bear. Hi, Beth. Thank you. Simply E. Go ahead.
Cuando
Put it
luchamos
right here.
ganamos.
Right there.
From the beautiful island of Puerto Rico.
Just go ahead and put it on. It's easy. Slide it right there. Thank you.
So jealous of the folks that are getting to meet you out
Can you hold
there.
this?
Yes.
Stay safe.
Are we
Don.
on TikTok?
You're on TikTok too now.
Hi, TikTok. We're live. We've been live since 2 o'clock. We're trying to do 12 hours live on YouTube. That is not.
We're in DC.
We're in DC. We're going to different places.
All right, here's his mic.
Oh, I need the microphone. Now we're going around to different places, and we're getting people. We have TTS, talk to text.
I'm loving this. Low, the celebratory gesture. Purple heart.
Do I need to
Purple
be
heart.
close to someone to hear it because it's cutting out? Does I need to be close to you to? Yeah. Okay, so I will read some of your comments as we get them. But thank you. Okay, so I will get to them.
Vicariously through you and this journey to the White House.
Thank you. Hey, sir, how are you? Can we talk to you? Come here. He doesn't want to talk. I would run with him. I'd go run
Maybe
after him.
clip this onto your
Love you,
side so you
Don.
don't have to hold it.
Yeah, but I want.
All that you do.
Yeah, you can just
Go blue.
But then they can't hear. I wish I had a little
Blue
necklace.
heart. Blue heart. Blue heart. Blue
about I
heart.
hold it on my
Blue
next
heart.
Yeah.
Blue heart. Blue heart.
That's a lot of blue hearts. But hold it up so they can hear. I want people, if they're doing this, it's great.
Thank you for building such an amazing community.
Thank you, Deborah Graves. Thank you,
heart,
Brittany.
lemon.
Hey, sir, where are you from?
Women.
Where are you from?
France.
You're from France.
Yeah.
Yeah? Can we talk to you? We're live streaming.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know if I got all the answer. But...
Are you paying attention to the election?
yes, a bit, yeah.
And what do you think?
Well, 'cause for me, I think it's like the world is kind of holding on it.
Yeah, the world is like
Yeah,
paying
yeah,
attention.
yeah, for sure.
Who do you think's going to win?
Should I say? I wish Kamala Harris, but yeah, because I think like in terms of we see already like barricades and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's certain violence on the other side that I don't see appreciate. But I'm French. I'm here. I'm just like a guest here, so I'm just observing.
I cut you off when you said the world is watching, and you started going, why is that?
Because I think there's like a lot of important decisions that are going to be made soon. Like regarding, I don't know, in general, like Canada as well, I feel like there is maybe a radicalization on the Trump side of things. So, and the US are a leader for the Western world.
Yeah.
And we take example. So for me, like, for example, it means like probably the far right as Marine Le Pen could get some credibility out of these elections as well. So we kind of follow the trend of the US.
I hope you guys understood at home. Because your accent for me is a bit, but maybe I'm just.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe I have so much going. No, but no, thank you. I appreciate it. I like the shirt too. Where'd you get that?
Uniqlo.
Uniqlo.
Yeah, let's go.
Better candidates.
Who's the idea of a better candidate and a better person? Someone just asked.
The idea?
Who's the better person?
You mean like in American politics in general? I don't know. Maybe okay. Maybe it's controversial, but I'll be like more Bernie guy, Bernie Sanders kind of guy, probably.
You are far left. You're progressive.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Take it easy.
All right.
Ma'am. Oh, shit. Let's go.
All right, so we gotta move.
Why? We gotta go somewhere else?
Yeah,
Should
we gotta go wait.
Look how beautiful this is, guys. Do you see where we are?
We got places to be, places to
Look at that plane coming in over there.
walking. Can you just do like, hey, we're in Washington?
Yeah, okay. Let me go. Hey, we're in Washington, D.C. I mean, come on. There's a monument right there. Check it out. Who is Skibbity? Is that you?
Who did that?
That was you, John.
Who did that?
Yes, but did you guys set the price for the thing? It's so beautiful. This is our third time here recently. I know, but we've been here, but we love it. It is warm outside. I bet these guys are not from here. Let's figure out, where do you think folks are from? Hey, where are you guys from?
We are from Toronto, Canada.
You're from Canada. Can we talk to you? It's easy. We're live streaming. Oh, you got to go to the bathroom. Okay, we'll go. I'm kidding. We're not going to go. We're not going back. We're not going to the bathroom. Don't. Where do we want to go? Let's see.
This way too, and maybe do a lap around this.
We're going to do a lap? Oh, look, I think they're from Texas.
Yeah.
Let's see where they're from. Let me go ask. Hold on. Hey, where are you guys from? Where are you from?
I'm from Texas.
You're from Texas. Can we talk to you? We're live streaming. It's easy. Come on. Are you sure? See, what is this? Your dad?
Yeah.
I was just asking you, did you vote? Are you excited? Are you sure? Can we interview you? Okay. All right. All right. So you can be on too if he approves. Okay.
Sure.
So how are you feeling about the election?
I feel good, and I guess it could go either way. It's very close. So.
It's close, right?
Yes, sir.
Who do you want to win? Trump.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's good. You're American. You're free to say that.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think he's going to be a better leader. That's what it came down to it, and for the economy.
Yeah. Do you think what his policies, what economic policies? You just think he's better?
So, I mean, during his first 4 years as president, he had a good economic policy, and I felt like we flourished during his time here.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit of a struggle, obviously, during this last administration, and so I don't know. I'm hoping either way it goes.
Yeah.
Economically, I hope that the United States does well.
Since I kind of twisted your arm, I'm not going to fact check you here, but the economy is better now than under him. The prices are high. Prices for goods are higher, but the economy is better.
So the inflation is really high. The economy, the economy is not doing super poorly. But if you go to buy a house, you're going to pay more in interest. You're going to pay more just overall because the housing prices have gone sky high.
But we have a real estate person here who's telling us that the rates are down and people are.
They're coming down, but they're not as low as they were previously.
Yeah. So, look, that's your choice.
Yeah.
But I disagree with you on the economy.
That's okay.
All right, that's okay, right? Yeah. We can agree to disagree. What's your name?
I'm Dallas. Dallas.
Your name is Dallas and you're from Texas?
That's correct.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your name? Can I talk to him? Yeah, sure. Are you sure? What's your name?
My name is Marcus.
Marcus? Yeah. And so what do you think? Are you paying attention to the election? Does it even matter to you?
Yeah. I agree with my father.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think Trump should win, yeah.
All right, cool.
I think all his points agree.
Yeah. Do you and your friends talk about it?
Yeah. They have a different decision, but I choose what I believe.
Well, I mean, your dad probably means the world to you, right? He's your dad, and you look up to him. Yeah. Your friends like Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you? Do you mind?
I'm 11.
You're 11, and your friends talk about it. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, good luck. What grade?
6.
6. Don't do too much of that because then you'll end up like me and cavities and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys. You guys are visiting for how long?
Yeah, I'm here for the whole week or so.
Are you visiting or you're here for work?
Yeah.
You picked an interesting time.
It is. Yeah.
Thank you, Dallas from Texas. See you guys. Thank you so much.
You can do the TTS too.
You can do the TTS all the time. You don't have to wait. Bye, guys. Thank you. What is it, Evan? What's your name again? Marcus. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Bye. That was a nice family. Hey, look. Their choice is their choice. You can do the TTS if you support independent media. It'll come up. You can put your voice on it.
Power of their voice through their vote.
It is important to note that we may not know the winner of the presidential race tonight, especially if it's close. Election officials around the country are urging patience as all of the votes are counted. Our Decision 2024 coverage kicks off with the candidates. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez is at Howard University in Washington, D.C., covering the Harris campaign. And NBC News correspondent Dasha Burns is at Trump headquarters in West Palm Beach, Florida. Good to see you both. Gabe, let's start with you. Howard University, a historically Black university, is the vice president's alma mater. She's expected to hold a watch party there tonight. So how are the Harris campaign feeling heading into these final hours?
Well, hi there, Zane, Clay, and Kate. Well, the Harris campaign is cautiously optimistic at this point, but they are being careful not to be too optimistic. They're saying that this is an extremely close race among all the 7 battlegrounds, but they are encouraged by some signs, including the early vote, which they say in places like North Carolina has been predominantly from women, and they feel they are better performing with that demographic. Now, Vice President Harris, as you said, is in Washington today. She spent the morning calling into radio stations, trying to get her message, her last-minute message out. She has been stressing that momentum is on our side. That's what she told voters with several rallies yesterday in Pennsylvania. And you mentioned Howard University, of course, her alma mater. It also has a lot of history for her. Back in 2019, it's where she announced her 2020 presidential bid. And she told an interviewer earlier today that the first time she ever ran for elected office was to be a representative here at Howard University. So if she were to win this election, it would all come full circle. Cadence.
And Dasha, let me go to you. We heard from the former president earlier today. He's also holding a watch party tonight in West Palm Beach. What's the feeling among Trump insiders right now?
Well, look, they're projecting confidence internally, similar to what Gabe said, is cautious optimism. The former president at his rallies yesterday said he believes he has a 95% chance of winning. Of course, we've all been seeing the polls. It's very, very tight. 95% is overshooting it by quite a lot. But one of the things that his allies are pointing to is that he has always done better than the polls set expectations for. And the fact that it is so close right now, they feel like is a really good sign for them. But the former president has also repeatedly cast doubt on the potential results of this election. He did that throughout his rallies yesterday. And he has basically had this message out there that his supporters that we talked to are very bought into, which is that the only way that he can lose is if there is cheating. He's especially sowing doubt about a process that could take a long time. If it takes longer than just tonight, which it very well could, because let's be clear of election laws in these states that are part of the process, that there's nothing nefarious there. But he's been sowing doubt about these things taking a long time. This morning, though, he was asked by our great embed Jake Traylor if he would concede if he lost. And he did say that he would if it was fair, and said he feels like so far it has been fair. So this mix of confidence, but also sticking to that pattern of sowing some doubt without evidence, of course, that there has been any cheating, which there has not been any evidence of, guys.
Yeah, and we'll be heading to some polling sites later this hour. Appreciate all of that analysis. Dasha Burns, Gabe Gutierrez, thank you.
One of the most watched counties in America tonight will be Maricopa County, Arizona. That's a major swing county in a swing state.
Just take a look at these long lines in Scottsdale, which is in that county. It's a similar scene we've been witnessing all day long across the U.S.
NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz is in Scottsdale for us. And Liz, voters are not only weighing in on the president in this crucial battleground state. Remind us what else is on that 2-page long ballot you've got.
Hey guys, yeah, it's a very long ballot, which is leading to some of these long lines here at this polling location. We're at a very popular location here. You can see all these folks that have come out trying to make their last minute pitches to voters as they walk into this polling center. The presidency also, of course, is something big that voters are voting on. Biden won this state by just 10,000 votes in 2020. People are saying it could be just as tight this time around. Voters are also voting for Senate. Republican Carrie Lake, who showed up here to this voting location a couple hours ago to to energize supporters. She is running against Democrat Ruben Gallego. And then another critical thing on the ballot here, guys, is Proposition 139. This would enshrine abortion rights into the state constitution in Arizona. This is one of 10 states nationwide where abortion is literally on the ballot. And time again, we are hearing from voters who say that is the #1 issue that is driving them to the polls. But where we are here in Scottsdale, this is a more conservative area, and voters time and time again also say that immigration is bringing them out to the polls as well. So it's expected to be very tight, guys.
Yeah, and that long ballot resulting in those long lines you described. But I hear a party bus is trying to help fix this problem. What's that looking like?
Yeah, you guys, I've never seen anything like this. This is a group, a conservative group, Turning Point Action, that has literally rented out a massive pink party bus, like a bachelorette style bus, where they are shuttling people from here to a nearby polling location. In fact, they have their sign up here that says the Trump train. That's what they've dubbed it. They're getting people, bringing them somewhere else, all in an effort to get out the vote. And they're allowing anybody on it. Take a listen to this guy. He said he joined and he's not even voting for Trump.
You decided to hop on the bus? Yeah, it was a free ride. And in the spirit of, just getting along with everybody, I'm a Kamala supporter, but here I am on the Trump train.
Just because why?
Well, I'm with someone that sees things differently than me, and we didn't want to get separated.
Now, this gentleman did say that once he got taken to this other location, that location ended up having some printer problems. The printer ran out of ink, and then it broke down. So it ended up taking just as long as if he had waited here. But again, guys, all of these creative efforts in this critical battleground state and county, people say so goes Maricopa County, so goes the state. All of these efforts to try to get out every single vote, guys.
And he got a nice ride with some music, from what I heard.
It did look fun.
Liz Kreitz. Liz,
yeah, and snacks. Too.
And snacks.
And snacks. We love snacks. All right, let's head now to another key battleground state, Nevada.
Both presidential campaigns have spent time and money courting voters there, especially Latino voters.
NBC News correspondent David Noriega joins us from outside the home of the NFL's Las Vegas Raiders. David, good to see you. So you are the largest polling place in the largest county in Nevada. How are things going there?
Yeah, this is a pretty unusual polling place, by the way. The Secretary of State and Clark County put a lot of effort into making this kind of a destination polling place for people. There's music, there's activities. We're right off the Las Vegas Strip, and it's worked. More than 1,000 people have voted here so far today. That's more than any other polling place in the county. And of course, Clark County has most of the population of Las Vegas. Now, it's really been a mix of voters here, the people that I've been talking to. I've talked to about equal numbers of Trump and Harris supporters, which reflects just how split this state is. I want to play you a little bit of sound of some of the folks I've spoken to. Take a listen.
I kind of didn't want to vote for either, but I'm like, we need change. I just feel like everything's getting so expensive, the cost of living. We have to work 2 jobs to make a living, and we don't think that's right.
Harris, at least, when it comes to Palestine, she's at least mentioned self-determination for Palestinians and stuff. That's
a major issue for you?
Definitely.
Registered Republicans are a little bit ahead of registered Democrats right now in turnout, but a big black box is independents. There are a plurality of registered voters in Nevada, and we don't at this point know which way they're going to break. Guys?
Okay, David Noriega, thanks so much.
And be sure to join us tonight for complete Decision 2024 coverage. Want to remind you it starts at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. That's the streaming part on your NBC News Now. Then it picks up on your local NBC station at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then later tonight, I'll be anchoring overnight as well alongside Craig Melvin.
Time now for today's CNBC Money Minute. Walgreens is paying $100 million to resolve a lawsuit.
And Meta is extending its ban on political ads. Pippa Stevens joins us now. Hi, Pippa.
Hey, Kate and Zinkley. Well, Walgreens agreed to pay $100 million to settle a proposed class action lawsuit accusing it of overcharging customers for a decade when they bought generic drugs through private insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid. Plaintiffs accused the company
right, rather than unwanted or unintentional pregnancy.
True, yeah. And I just want to throw it back, how you guys talk about tuition. Okay, that's cool, but let's say for I just feel like there's so many like loopholes around it because I went to community college, and not everybody goes to community college. I wasn't a person that can do a 4-year university. I felt like I can do a community, and my community at the time was free. So like things like tuition, it just doesn't like it affects the youth. But like according, like I have friends that even did the tuition debt, they didn't get approved, or it just wasn't helping them. So like things like that, like it helps some of the youth, but like it's like what more can you do for us? Like
All right. Well, I appreciate your opinion. And by the way, I mean, why are you on the scooter? Shouldn't you be letting her be on the scooter? What's up with that?
No, I don't get on those. Those are very dangerous. I've seen people fall off of those.
Can I try it?
Yeah, you can try.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. It's this one, right? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's this one.
Yeah, just press the gas.
Now say something in the mic, though.
No, I'm not taking that. Wait. Oh, there we go. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Ah! I was going to go all the way around, but there's a park ranger over there, and I thought maybe like that would be problematic. Thank you. Oh, where did he go? Oh, he's over here.
I just want to say one more thing.
Yes. What do you want to say? One more thing.
Please, if you did not vote, please go ahead and vote. Your vote does matter. People think their vote does not matter. Every little thing matters. Every vote counts.
You're right.
So,
and so that we can have conversations like this.
Exactly.
Tell me your name again.
Alexiana.
Dario. Yeah. Can I have a hug? Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. Can I have a picture, please?
Thank you. Of
Do
course you
mind?
can.
Oh my gosh, this is
Let's go this way. This is where the light. This is the best light.
Jesus. I might look fast.
You ready?
Okay. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I saw your face when I walked over. You're like, wait a minute. Hey, thank you. I love having that conversation. Yeah.
It was nice to meet you.
Don Lemon. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
You guys have a good day.
Thank you. Bye. All right. That was great. I got to ride the scooter. I think. Oh my gosh, look at that. Can we walk over there?
Yeah, that's where we're going.
We're walking.
Yeah, let's start walking. We gotta go around this.
We got to go around. We got to go.
Start moving.
We're not going back. Where's my TTS? It's here.
He just turned it on because
Okay, so
that
what?
was a good conversation.
What are we going to set it at? $5, $10?
I think $10.
$10
For it to go up and it needs to be
$10 for it to go off minimum.
Okay,
right?
so you need to tell him here.
Don, you are crazy.
Wait for your videographer. I'll lead you. Okay, so someone asked you chicken bake or double chocolate chunk cookie.
What's chicken?
Costco.
What's chicken
It's from
bake?
Costco. Yeah, this one.
Hey, thank you, Gustas.
Tele 2.
2024.
Champion climate action through the Paris Agreement 3. Obama receiving only 2/3 of his symbolize how the Republican Party and its voters responded to his presidency.
Yeah, that one was $50.
There you go. That one was $50 from who?
From Miss A.
Miss A, thank you. And you gave me reasons like what has he done for the youth? Thank you, Miss A. I appreciate that. Alexiano, she has a voice, says Tony Hall. The 3 Link Agency says that poor young man embarrassed his mom on this Good Tuesday. So good to see Don free and easy. I love it. I'm gonna put my sneakers on. All right, let's see if we can get the runner. Let's see if we can get the runner. Watch, he's gonna be like,
You ready?
no. Sir, can we talk to you? No? That means no. No means no. Where are you from?
Houston.
Hey, how are you? Hey, can we talk to you? All right, so from
Hawaii.
You're from Hawaii.
Yes.
How are you feeling? We're live streaming. Can we put you on? How are you feeling about the election?
It's great. I'm feeling pretty strong and confident that Trump's going to pull it out.
You are?
Yes, I do.
You think he is? Why is that?
I just I see a lot more signs.
Yeah, that's your unscientific poll.
Yes,
that
that's
you see
my
a lot more
unscientific poll.
Why do you think he's going to pull it out? Seriously.
I just think the temperature of the country, it just seems that there's a lot more support. That's just what I'm hearing, talking to people.
Did you vote?
Yes, I did.
For Trump?
Yes, I did.
In Hawaii?
In Hawaii, believe it or not.
Hawaii is beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Which island?
Oahu.
Oahu. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
as well. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Let's see. I love you guys. I love these comments. Let's see. Him influencers. Thank you so much. Media Mayhem. Thank you. Producer Chris is kind of cute. Producer Chris, somebody said you're kind of cute. Don't It's the sunglasses. He thinks he's Corey Hart. Hi, how are you? He's riding a bike. Hi, where are you from, ma'am? You're from Canada, as we say. We're live streaming. How can I say hi to you?
Yes.
Hey, so how are you?
I'm okay.
Are you paying attention to the election?
Yes.
Who do you think's going to win?
Oh, I don't know.
Who would you like to win? I know you don't vote.
I don't like either of them, but if I had to, I'd vote for Kamala. But I do a lot of work in support of Palestine. I'm pretty disgusted with her politics too. But
But you don't know what she's going to do when she gets in.
but she's been horrible up until now. So, but with the option, I think he's terrifying. So, yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I look at it like this. You only have limited powers, if any, as vice president. And so you never know what you're going to do, what somebody's going to do when they are president. And I think you have to sort of pivot to the middle when you're running. And then when you get in there, then you do what you want to do.
Yeah, strategically, I would vote for her, but I think there's no middle anymore. I think it's just a bunch of fascism light. It's like Coke Light and Coke. Fascism.
Well, I mean, which Coke? Original or a formula or the new
Original
Coke?
fascism or weird
Coke
Zero fascism. So it's really frustrating.
Thank you. I'm on a schedule to get away. Thank you. Nice to meet you. We appreciate you talking to us. Thanks so much. Thank you. I love the TTS. I'm trying to get everybody's comments in. Let's see. There's one called Lim 1928. Thank you for your support of independent media. Perfect explanation of the commercial about women's discussions at the voting booth. Thanks, Don. We are not going back. I appreciate that. Let's see who this is. Migusas, thank you. I already shouted you out. Let's see who else. Let's see. Miss A. No, Miss A, that was €49.99, which is, I believe, even more. Don't ask, don't tell, repeal act. We said that that was a voice thingy on the TTS. Thank you for that, Miss A. And let's see who's here. Annette Johnson. Wow, Annette, thank you so much. I appreciate your support of independent media. You are the best. So put something on there and the voice pops up. I like that. Do you guys like that? Look, a selfie. Hi, selfie family. Where are you from?
New York.
New York. You want me to get a picture of you for you? Okay, thank you. Bye. Nice to meet you. They're like, don't bring that microphone over here, Don Lemon. I don't want to talk to you. This is look how beautiful it is. Wow. Wouldn't it be great if it every day was kind of like this weather? I could deal with that.
You have to tell them to hit the likes.
Oh, you have to hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes. Oh, thank you for the guy. Hey, oh my God. Hey, TikTok. I'm sorry. I've totally forgot about you guys. What's up, TikTok? Saying, look, our gallery is what? What is it, 50? Yeah. Okay, so we got to get some galaxies today. Make sure you hit the hearts. If you somebody put a turkey on the head. Oh, I love the turkey. So if you're on the YT, the tube thing, you can you can put your comments on.
Tell them we're on
Tube. It's a donation. We're on Tube. That's where the action is, on Tube. You can put it on the your comments will come up and the voice you'll hear what they can do here.
4,000 people on your Galaxy. Let's go.
Galaxy.
Yeah, you got to do the Galaxy dance.
See, listen.
Galaxy.
See, Ute. It said Ute. That is from Lenny Chris. Thank you, Lenny Chris. I appreciate it. I don't know. Should we do a special for another hour, $5?
I think you should do $5.
$5, $3, $2.
Let's go. We have to cross this way because he's going to pick us up at the end. So once we get over here.
All right. All right, cool. We can. You guys, we're waiting. Look out. Oh, the runners? You do? Chris.
Hey, yo. Someone said don't send this man money. Wow.
Look, in order for independent media to do what we do, you have to support it. We're not corporation. We're not a corporate media. We get to say whatever we want. We get to represent you. Do not get hit by a car, Chris.
They sent 4 galaxies.
Thank you. We're trying to get our 50 galaxies. Let's see these guys. Let's see what these bros are doing.
Galaxy dance.
Thank you.
Watching from Cardiff, Wales, UK.
Hey guys, where are you from?
For the win.
Where are you guys from?
We're from New Jersey.
Hey, come talk to us. We're live streaming.
Yeah. We're running right now. You got to move with us.
Okay, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, this way. Oh, we're sorry. Whoa, we're about to get hit by. Sorry.
We got to keep up.
So, did you vote?
I did vote.
Yeah. So what do you think? Who's going to win?
Well, I voted for us. Why not us? It's a podcast I just started.
Selling it. No, but okay, great. Why not us is your podcast.
You know, honestly, I just hope everyone has fun today and roots for America. I'm out here running 6 miles for America today.
Yeah.
Wanted to embrace the opportunity here.
Who do you think's going to win?
Honestly, not really sure.
Who do you think's going to win?
I think Donald Trump's going to win today.
Who would you like to win?
Donald Trump.
Who would you like to win?
I think Donald Trump as well.
Yeah. Okay.
That's who I voted for.
That's who you're Americans. You can say that. How do you? So why? What's the reason?
Why did I vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
I think he's done the job successfully once already, and I'm looking forward to him doing it again.
And you?
Yeah, what he said, sort of. I'm less of a political guy myself.
Yeah.
I'll just be honest there. But I love America, and I hope that we just continue to make this country better and better.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
God bless the USA.
Why not?
Craziness. This is madness. What do you guys think?
What did they just say?
Oh, someone said, go party time. So they need to run a few more miles. Oh, y'all are bad. The TikTok cam has a better view. Carson, bro, you got to get in front of me. The TikTok cam has a better view, says my long story. Short. Thanks for the galaxy. Get in front of me, bro. Blue Wave, baby, says Denise 215. Don. DC the Don. Don, come back and ride the scooter again.
Oh my God, there's a bunch of.
Glenda Clark says, you're in shape, Don.
No, look at this motorcade.
Oh, check out a motorcade. Who is that?
This may be our coming in.
Uh-oh, who's the motorcade? Can you guys see that?
Love from Detroit. Thanks, Dawn. This is great. Blue Heart. The future is female. Blue Heart. Go Harris.
Oh, look at that. Look at all the Americans.
That is whoever that is a very important person. To have that big a motorcade, that could be the presidential or vice presidential motorcade. That's a big one.
Wow.
That's someone important. Oh, no. That's either the president or the vice president. You know how I know? Look at
You can't even see anything anymore.
Let's break down what we know.
You gotta see this. News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
Good morning begins with hope and optimism, a chance to start fresh. We want to welcome you in to share a moment that brightens your day, because every day deserves the best start.
More Americans turn to NBC News than any other news organization.
And what about you?
I'm from Florida. I live in Texas. Well, we live in Texas.
Okay, a red state to red state to red state.
Hey, that part.
Why are you guys here on election day?
Ironically enough, I'm here. Coincidentally enough, I'm sorry, I should say I'm here because we're visiting our first grandbaby.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. But because it's election day, and we figured let's go to Washington. I'm sure it's going to be very, energetic right now with everything's going on.
Where's the baby now?
The baby's in Maryland.
Okay. So, your daughter or your son?
It's our oldest daughter.
Your oldest daughter?
Yes.
And what's the baby's name?
What's the baby's name?
What's the baby's name?
Jeffrey.
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 Mom. Grandma?
Come on, Grandma. Yeah.
Well, you know, Grandma.
That's okay.
And Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
And how old's the baby?
Jeffrey's almost a month.
Really?
Yes.
Are you excited, Grandma?
Yes, I am. It's the first
But you forgot the name?
It's a boy.
But you don't know the name?
See, I had a nickname for him.
What was?
So you know the nickname.
What was what?
Jeff.
Well, then you should have known.
Nah, because I just called him Jeff. See, I got a god baby. I call him J-Man. But guess what his name is?
What?
Josiah.
Okay. You all right? You had a couple cocktails?
No, I did
Are you
not.
going to have some tonight?
I don't know.
Who do you think's going to win?
Kamala Harris.
You do?
Yeah.
Who do you want to win?
Kamala Harris.
Who do you think's going to win?
I think Kamala's going to win.
Who do you want to win?
I want Kamala to win.
You live in Texas now?
Yes, I do.
Is Texas going to go red or blue?
Texas is most likely going to go red.
Yeah.
From people I've talked to, but we need to go blue.
Yeah. Red or blue, Texas is. Which way is it going to go?
9 times out of 10, red.
Okay. Let me tell you something.
What's that?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, yeah.
Bye, y'all. Oh my gosh. She's like, wait, what's my grandbaby's name? Hilarious.
There's Texas right there.
Oh, look, there's Texas right there, right? He will be Smith's butter. LOL. We're going this way next to the reflective pond. Thank God. Alabama, represent. Perfect. Great couple. Them sweatpants doing him justice. Wait, what? Who's wearing sweatpants?
Is going to be a major factor if the Democrats end up making history tonight. It's going to be because they brought those people into their coalition. They were able to turn out historic levels of Black voters and young voters here. Take a listen to some of the conversations we've had with a Kamala Harris supporter and former President Trump supporter. Did you think about your kids as you made your decision?
Yeah, I did. I have a daughter, and I think she should be making decisions for herself and her life, just like everybody else.
I still don't know what to look forward to. And even with all the presidents before, I mean, nobody actually fulfilled whatever they promised completely. So it's just like win-lose situation.
A lot of talk, no action.
Pretty much.
The last voter you met there made a late break for former President Trump. But I'll say, it's very much a mix here because we've met others who've done the same and gone for Harris, Zinkley.
All right, Antonia Hilton, thank you so much.
We want to take you to Washington, D.C. right now because we have some video coming in of Vice President Kamala Harris visiting a phone bank there where people are making phone calls on her behalf. Now, it's interesting because we haven't seen her all day, actually, not since last night after midnight in that big rally in Philadelphia. Now we're seeing her. It looks like she's making a phone call herself. Let's listen in.
Thank you so very much. It's so important that everybody participates, and I thank you because I'm sure you got a lot of other things you could be doing. Taking the time to vote really does matter. So thank you for that. And you enjoy your day, okay?
The vice president right now appearing to make a stop at the DNC phone bank. And of course, we're expecting to see her later today at Howard University, her alma mater.
Right. That's where her watch party will be later tonight as the results come in.
So stay with us. Now we're going to turn overseas. The intense focus on the election is not just happening in America, it's global.
Around the world, people are watching and waiting to see who the next leader of the United States will be. Americans are voting amid multiple international crises, of course. The consequences of today's vote could reach far beyond our borders, from the Middle East to Russia to Ukraine and beyond. NBC News chief international correspondent Keir Simmons joins us now from Dubai. Keir, there are two wars raging, right? We've got so many other international crises going on. Our next president will have to deal with all of that. What do you hear from people outside the U.S. and how they're looking at this election?
Well, I tell you, this election matters to the world. Maybe unlike an American election for a generation. It's not just a difference in styles between President Trump, former President Trump and Vice President Harris. She, of course, a West Coast lawyer. He very transactional in his foreign affairs. We know that from his last administration. But as you mentioned, it's about what's going on in the world. It's about the conflict here in the Middle East, the conflict in Ukraine. We saw in 2019 Kim Jong-un of North Korea standing alongside former President Trump. Now he's pictured standing alongside nuclear centrifuges. It's about the competition with China, the continuing crisis around Taiwan, the clashes between that American partner, the Philippines, and China in the ocean there. And I could just go on and on. There are so many issues, and all of them are going to be in the next president's inbox. So the world is watching. Frankly, the world is biting its collective fingernails. Different parts of the world want different sides to win, if you like. Even American adversaries like Iran and Russia and China, we're told, according to analysis, have different views, but everybody knows this is important.
And Keir, can we dig into that American adversaries point you brought up? I think of Russia, China, Iran. What are they saying about this election? What have you learned?
Well, we do have analysis. A company called Filter Labs, a U.S. company that sifts through social media and state television output and uses AI and analysts. They say that the Russian side really leans towards President Trump. The Iranian side more towards Harris, and China really kind of in the middle, but still wanting knowing that this is important. And of course, in China's case, there's an interest, honestly, in Beijing to see America diminish. So you're right. It is right. And we have been in those countries, and we've spoken to people on the street. It's reflected in the opinions of people on the street. It is right that they have different views. But again, everybody is clear that the vote that America is engaged in today is going to have an impact globally.
Absolutely. Keir Simmons reporting on the global response to Election Day in Dubai. Thank you.
Well, even before we know the results, this election cycle has been historic in a lot of ways.
One of the biggest, the prospect that America could soon have its first female president. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ali Vitale is here with us in studio.
And Ali, you've done a lot of research on this topic because you wrote a book on the topic. It's called Electable: Why America Hasn't Put a Woman in the White House Yet.
Yeah.
The yet is important. Here we are on Election Day, and I don't want to be partisan about this. Nobody knows who's going to win tonight. Yeah. But does it feel that there's a possibility there, and why?
It definitely feels like there's a possibility there because it's a 50-50 race. And so it is at this point a toss-up of who wins the presidency. And that means that Kamala Harris is once again potentially within striking distance. I say once again because we saw this same situation in 2016. Hillary Clinton making history as the first woman to win a major party nomination. Here's the difference for Kamala Harris. She is not the first to ever be in this position. That helps. And there's also been a lot of other women who have vied for the presidency. Yes, Hillary Clinton. Yes, people like Elizabeth Dole and others before her, but also the fact that you had 6 women running in the 2020 presidential primary. It's all about bridging the so-called imagination gap, letting people imagine what they've never seen before. And she, being the vice president too, has done more work in putting the bricks in that road.
Ali, beyond the record of other women who have run for office before, you're not new to this. You covered Harris when she first had her bid for the White House. I wonder, Is she operating differently at all? What have you witnessed?
She herself, I think, is a much more confident candidate. You saw it in her early year in the vice presidency. She had a tough road, a lot of criticism for her. Some of it was fair, some of it absolutely wasn't. And we sort of parsed that out in real time. But as I wrote in my book, one of the things that people thought about then was when you're damned if you do and damned if you don't so often in your career, sometimes it's hard to trust your gut. What has happened in this White House over the course of her vice presidency is she's learned to trust her gut, but the issue set has also met her where she is. There is such an authenticity to being a woman talking about abortion care at this moment that really allows it to be a top issue for her while it's also one of the energizing issues around the country.
Let me ask you this, whether she wins or not tonight, could it help a future woman? You know, could what she's done so far, just to this point, be sort of a roadmap for a woman of any party?
Absolutely, because for every woman who runs for the presidency, but really for any office, they are all knowingly putting bricks in the road for whoever comes behind them. There is such a high stake and a balancing act to that, and we often talk about the high wire act that female candidates have to walk.
The double standards.
The double standards. But I will tell you, the media is more primed, to call this stuff out right now in a way that I didn't necessarily see in 2020 and that I definitely don't remember seeing in 2016. And so that's a sign of progress in and of itself, the way that we are just allowing women to run and potentially win by their own merits. And the way she's running leans into that. She's not talking about breaking glass ceilings. She's not talking about being the first. She's just saying, hey, this is my issue set. This is why I think you should vote for me, and I want to win.
All right, Ali Vitale, great to have you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Still ahead, the road to the White House has been a long and winding one.
I'll take you through all the bumps and the turns, things you might have even, well, not that, but other things you might have forgotten about. It's all next on NBC News Daily. What's the message that you're trying to get out to young people?
Know what is in the drug supply.
We've got important news this hour about your money.
Mental health, big picture, why is it so tough right now?
News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
Mornings are full of possibility and energy, and how you get set for the day ahead matters. It's about getting caught up and getting ahead, because every day deserves the best start.
Believe it or not, we've officially reached the finish line in campaign season, and sometimes I think it felt like a blur, right?
Yeah, and one thing is for sure, even before we know the results, this election is already shaping America's future.
We believe in the promise of America!
Our country will be bigger, better, bolder.
It's an election fight that looks much different than when it began nearly 2 years ago to the day.
America's comeback starts right now.
Former President Donald Trump locked in the Republican nomination with ease, defeating a parade of challengers and battling a slew of legal cases.
That is 34 felony counts here, all guilty verdicts.
This is unprecedented for a former American president to be criminally convicted.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial.
His supporters undeterred, believing Trump could best tackle the economy and immigration.
I'm the only one in history who got indicted and my numbers went up.
Initially set for a rematch against President Joe Biden.
I'm still the only person to ever beat Donald Trump.
They made history as the oldest major party presidential candidates ever in an American election. A concern for voters and whispers about Biden's mental fitness soon grew louder.
The special counsel referred to the president as a, quote, sympathetic, well-meaning, and elderly man with a poor memory.
My memory is fine.
But that first presidential debate in June set off 3 weeks of unprecedented political upheaval.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
This night got off to a tough start for President Biden.
I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition?
Calls for Biden to suspend his re-election campaign were sidelined by an unthinkable twist.
This is an NBC News special report.
Take a look at what happened.
The 45th president of the United States, injured but alive.
All of this unfolding with Republicans now gathering to officially nominate Donald Trump at their convention.
With his ear bandaged, the former president making an emotional entrance just 2 days after the attempt on his life.
when Donald Trump rose to his feet in that Pennsylvania field, all of America stood with him.
I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God.
That same week, President Biden testing positive for COVID.
News broke of different Democratic leaders calling for the president to step aside.
My fellow Americans,
Days later, the president ending his re-election bid.
I revere this office. I love my country more.
Endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris and upending the race with just over 100 days until the election.
We choose freedom.
Democrats quickly energized by their first female nominee of Black and Indian descent. Harris showing strength on the issues of abortion rights and protecting democracy.
Ours is a fight for the future.
Trump pivoting to his new opponent.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black.
A convention coronation in August.
Kamala Harris is going to stand up and fight for your freedom to live the life that you want to lead.
I accept your nomination to be president of the United States of America.
Trump and Harris would meet for the first time in their only debate.
I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else.
The government and Donald Trump certainly should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
And this famous falsehood.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
The vice presidential debate striking a different tone.
I agree with a lot of what Senator Vance said about what's happening. And I think that Governor Walz and I actually probably agreed.
But the dangers of our nation's divisiveness still on display.
The FBI says there has been another possible attempt on former President Trump's life.
By fall, the critical Battleground blitz amid one of the closest presidential races ever.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within.
The razor-thin margin bringing out bold-faced names.
Vice President Kamala Harris.
President Trump must win.
Podcast interviews taking center stage. That Trump dance party going viral. And his Madison Square Garden rally sparking controversy.
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Amid the fallout, the Trump campaign seizing on a Biden gaffe.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Harris caught on this hot mic moment talking to Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer about male voters. While Trump tries to win over more women.
Whether the women like it or not, I'm going to protect them.
After so many firsts, the last days of a campaign season like no other. And a reminder of what's most important.
Get everyone you know, you have to do it. You have to vote, vote, vote.
Your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power.
And there is much more news ahead.
You are watching NBC News Daily.